Okay, in this question, we are going to analyze quantitative continuous data. Now, this is the hardest part because here there are a lot of steps. So make sure you have them down, maybe write them down so you don't forget them. Okay, so first thing first, let's get the data into Desmos. So let's open up the calculator. I'm just gonna open it here, and then we're gonna save the data into a list L. So let's just open that and highlight the data. This is rent. I guess it was possibly a long time ago. Some people pay 2,510. Okay. So anyway, this is rent, and this is continuous data because this is not counts, right? It's measured in dollars. Now, to summarize it, we can't just list every single value. What we want to do is group it into so-called classes, okay? So how do we know how many numbers are in each class? Now, one thing you can do is actually use sort. So when you use sort, you can then actually count how many numbers are between 0 and 499. Well, I only see one, so I'll put that here. From 500 to 999. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, that looks like it's 11. Then 1000 to 1499. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like that's 8. Okay, from 1500 to 1999. So that would be this one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3. I do not see anything between 2000 and 2499, so that would be 0. And finally, I see one number in the last class. Now, if you want to do the same thing using Desmos, that's going to be actually pretty tricky. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is use the command histogram. You're going to open parentheses. You're going to say L. However, this is not discrete data. If it's discrete data, you would be using count, and bin alignment would be center, and the bin width, which is written right here, the default, that would be 1 if it were discrete, but it's not. This is continuous. So you're going to have to, first of all, change the bin alignment to left. So this is very important. For continuous data, you want to change it to left. And then the bin width is not going to be 1, most likely. It could be, but it's not. So how do we determine the bin width? We look at the classes, okay? Look at the lower limits for each class and subtract these values. Okay, so 500 subtract 0 would be 500. It is a mistake to think that the class width is 499 minus 0, which is 499. That is not true. So what you're doing is you're just subtracting the lower class limits, and that's how you get the class width, which is 500. And what you do is you're going to type a comma right here and put 500. Okay, so bin width is not 1. Now, at this point, we're going to go to this little plus sign, the zoom fit, and click on that so we can actually see the histogram. Now, if you want to see better, there is a kind of double arrow button that you can press. That will hide the left side of the screen and allow you to focus better on the graph. So you can see that 1, 11, 8, 3, nothing, 0, 1. So that confirms what I just got by using the sort and manually counting the numbers. Okay, but the next step is the same. To get the relative frequencies, you can just gonna say F equals, and then you're gonna start typing the frequencies, separate them by a comma, enter a list F for frequency. To find the relative frequency, remember we use round, then F, then divide, which is the / total, open parentheses F, and then we want a comma and 3. Now they should say 3 decimals. They do say that. If they don't, just by default always use 3. Oops, that was not correct. Okay, so I'm just gonna click instead of tabbing. Okay, so 0 and 0.042. Okay, so I got that. Now the class width, as we just talked about, is 500. Now draw the histogram wall we just did to figure out whether it's symmetric or bell-shaped, symmetric bell-shaped, or maybe uniform. This is where all the bars have about the same height. That's definitely not happening here. My guess is this is going to be skewed right, because when you look at the histogram, if you were to try to draw a curve through data, the right tail would be longer. And so that tells you it's going to be skewed right.